Hello and welcome to another edition of the Sloppy Scientist. And today we're going to make honey garlic. So the setup for this video is whenever I do a honey harvest from my bees, I always have like 3 gallons of honey. And after I get done bottling like 100 jars, nice looking jars like this, I always have like a little bit of extra honey that I put into a jar like this. I wind up getting over the course of months and months, years and years, all these like remainder honey jars, and I can't really eat them all that fast. I don't eat that much honey myself, and it winds up crystallizing. This one's in the process of crystallizing. I want to know what I can do with these jars. And in my explorations on YouTube, I found out there's this thing called honey garlic you can make. So that's what I'm going to try to make. Hopefully this will get rid of a couple of my problems. I'm going to mix together some of my honey remainder and also get rid of some of the crystallization that's happening to my honey. So what is honey garlic? Well, essentially it is food. But beyond that, it's a fermented product. The honey itself will never ferment because the sugar concentration is too high. Any bacteria that fall into honey will instantly be totally dried out because water will, for complicated reasons, it can't survive. Garlic, when you add it to the honey, actually for similar reasons, the water will leave the garlic and enter into the honey, and stuff will be able to start growing as the sugar concentration goes down. Alright, so you're probably getting sick of me yammering on about garlic honey, and you probably just want me to make it. So, let's combine jars. And you can start to see that this honey is like hopefully you could see this honey is like starting to get real thick and crystallized. So maybe you can see that in there in the jar. It's not running the way honey is supposed to run. I mean, look at that. Very crystallized. I mean, I've seen honey in the past that's like rock solid, but we're just kind of in an intermediate stage right now, which I think is a good time to make this honey garlic. All right, so there we go. That's as much as I'm going to get out of there. All right, so there we go. We got our 2 honeys. Gotta mix those around a little bit. We got some very delicious, sweet honey. All right, the next step, obviously, is the garlic preparation. I've already kind of started unwrapping these. I'm just going to use this entire bulb of garlic to make this. This is probably the most boring thing you could ever watch on a video, so I'll just... Basically what I'm going to do is unwrap these garlic bulbs. Garlic cloves. But I'll fast forward through this, and in 2 seconds, in your time, I'll be done with this. If I was a vampire, I would be dead right now. Ta-da! Okay, got all my garlic sorted here. And just gonna put it in there. Oh yeah. Get the spoon. Yes. As Emeril Lagasse would say, happy, happy. All right, there we go. Now all I have to do is wait. So you got to be careful because with any fermentation process, it's going to produce a bunch of gas. And if you close it tight and then just leave it for days and days, it's going to explode. There's going to be enough pressure to make a huge mess, explode. You know, flying glass shards, just dangerous, bad scene. So every day I'm going to check it. I'm going to open it, let off that gas. Hopefully, we're going to see all the crystals start to disappear, and I'm going to get some delicious fermented food. All right, here we are a week later. Now is as good a time as any to test the honey garlic that I made last week. Now, I've been stirring it periodically through the week. Hopefully you can see what it looks like right now. Now, there should be gases in this. Let's see if we can capture the hiss. A little bit. Give it a little smell. Whew. Tastes a lot, smells a lot like garlic, and but not so eye-watery. Like it lost some of the teeth. And then there's definitely a honey fragrance there too. So can you see what it looks like? A lot of the moisture came out of the garlic. And it's very liquidy in there now. A lot of the crystals did seem to melt, but that bottom layer is very thick. See if we can stir it up a bit. Yeah, it's like grainy, almost like just table sugar. Well, it seemed to melt some of them, but not all of them. So I don't know what's going on there. Maybe there's not enough water to dissolve it. Or maybe it's almost like a cheese making effect where you put a little acid in milk and it separates the milk solid stuff from I think it's called whey? Curds, a curdling of milk. The curds come out of the milk and then there's whey. And anyway, maybe it's like that where the garlic actually adds some acidity, which drops some of the sediments out of solution. I have no idea, but it smells pretty interesting, so I'm going to give it a taste. Hopefully I don't get botulism. Huh. So it's like it's good honey, but it almost like it's like thicker and it's more like mouth coating. Sort of like residually there. I can't really think what to use it in cooking wise, but I guess it would go with a lot of like Italian type foods, like maybe garlic bread or pizza crust, or maybe to add even to tomato sauces. I guess would be a pretty good use. Yeah. So one of the benefits of putting your garlic in honey like this is I think it's going to be able to be preserved for months and months and months. Whereas if you just had a garlic bulb, it might rot. I wouldn't mind eating this for months and months. And you might even be able to take these clove things out and dice them up and add them to sauces and such. So it's a way of preserving the food. As far as my goal of maybe trying to dissolve or recycle or rejuvenate the crystallized honey, I would say it didn't really do that great of a job. I mean, the stuff up here is very liquidy honey. So in a sense, in about half or maybe 3/4 of the honey, it did a good job dissolving the crystals. But there's this lower portion down here that's almost like more crystalline. So jury's out on that. So I also just want to kind of plug my honey. If you'd like to buy some, I have harvested nearly 6 gallons this year, and that's far too much for me to eat, my neighbors to eat, my colleagues at work to eat. So I'm selling some. This is genuine, wild Michigan honey. I don't treat with chemicals. If you've never had wild honey, it is nothing like the honey bear honey you get at the grocery store. It's full of floral compounds and flavonoids. Actually, I'm not sure if it's full of flavonoids. I don't even know what a flavonoid is. But it's full of lots of pollen and things that will be good for your allergies. And it tastes good. It tastes really good. So if you'd like to buy some, just send me an email at thesloppyscientist@gmail.com. Prices I'll put on the screen. I'll send you some out. Cha-ching! That concludes my honey garlic video. I hope you liked it. I mean, you could probably do a lot with honey garlic if you're a creative foodie type, which I am not. But one thing I do know, you can do a lot with just normal honey. Look, I made banana bread. This actually has honey in it, and it is delicious. I actually don't care if you buy any. But do support beekeepers locally in your area because, I mean, bees are having some trouble right now with trying to cope with the mite infestation that's overtaking the U.S. It's a real issue, and so beekeepers are doing a service for all of us. Flowers, we wouldn't have flowers without bees, and we wouldn't have bees without flowers. We wouldn't have honey without flowers. So it's important for us to foster, protect bees, and that all starts with getting local honey and supporting your beekeepers. So do that and support me, because then I can bring you more stupid videos online.